Okay. Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing fine tonight. It was a beautiful Monday. Awesome Monday. Lots of people to interact with today. Gyms are busy on Monday. You know, people got to get back into the gym on Monday. I love that part. It's exciting. I always look forward to going back to work too. And the internship opportunities, it's really cool. New athlete today. Oh yeah, now we got the guy with the English accent, the European accent, or from the UK, whatever it is, Great Britain. But it's cool. It's cool, and he's a super fast guy, but pretty chill guy too, and it's fun. Now we got the guy that just speaks just totally English American, but can do the Black Panther accent really good. And then we got the really deep voice guy, deep voice, tall, biblical character kind of beard, Moses beard. Well, not quite Moses, but I always like to say biblical character, or the Osama bin Laden going on. So that makes it fun, and better one-on-one time learning what I need to learn, and eating the humble pie and just saying, yep, okay, I can fix that, okay, I can fix that, okay, I can fix that, yep, okay. Just humble yourself, just say, I don't know, I've never done this before, and I kind of understand what you're talking about, and yeah, or I never learned that before, and thanks for telling me that. Things like that. It's just the humbleness is cool, and people appreciate that. I like that. So this will be a 365-day devotional. That was only the beginning of the day. Pretty awesome. And Willow coming and hanging out with us too. And but anyway, 365-day devotional. I haven't read these. It's going to be awesome. Grace for the Mess from Max LUCADO's book. Let's see. Is this getting any brighter? There we go. For the sin of this one man, Adam, caused death to rule over many, but even greater is God's wonderful grace and his gift of righteousness. For all who receive it will live in triumph over sin and death through this one man, Jesus Christ. I knew that's where we're going. All right, Adam, Eve, y'all screwed up, okay? But man, so many years went by after that, though, and so many people went through so many things. From Noah to Moses to Abraham to some other people, so many people I'm going to forget, to Isaac to Jacob and to Solomon and David and King of Babylons, and so many people with Elijah and Elijah. So many things just went on, and King David when that happened, and King David's father, and Joseph, and then Mary, and so many things went on in between. But God told Abraham, wait. You don't have to do this. I see you have strong faith and you believe me and you're obedient. I'm going to take care of that for you. But just, in the meantime, just do what I tell you to do. You know? Cool. All right. For the sin of this one man, Adam, caused death to rule over many, but even greater is God's wonderful grace and his gift of righteousness. For all who receive it will live in triumph over sin and death through this one man, Jesus Christ. This one. All it was one death, one resurrection. That's all it took. Cool. The meaning of life. The wasted years of life. The poor choices of life. God answers the mess of life with one word, grace. Yes! Max LUCADO just said it perfectly, because usually that's the testimony of most of us, except some young people that have been brought up in church early, but still, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't sin or haven't continued sinning or doing things that's not holy or righteous or honoring God. But anyway, let's move on. The meaning of life, the wasted years of life, the poor choices of life. God answers the mess of life with one word, grace. Even today, we talk as though we understand the term. This is going to be deep, because I had to give it today, and it was very easy. The bank gives us a grace period. The seedy politician falls from grace. Musicians speak of a grace note. At church, grace is the songs we sing and the Bible verses we read. Grace shares the church parsonage with its cousins, forgiveness, faith, and fellowship. Preachers explain it, hymns proclaim it, seminaries teach it. But do we really understand it? Here's my hunch. We've settled for wimpy grace. Nice. It politely occupies a phrase in a hymn, fits nicely on a church sign, never causes trouble or demands a response. When asked, do you believe in grace? Who could say no? Have you been changed by grace, shaped by grace, strengthened by grace, softened by grace? God's grace has drenched about it, a wildness about it, a white water riptide turn you upside downness about it. Grace comes after you, it rewires you, from insecure to God secure, from regret riddled to better because of it. From afraid to die to ready to fly. Grace is the voice that calls us to change and then to give us the power to pull it off. Grace for the mess. Through this one man, Jesus Christ. So yeah, every day, as I always say, I reiterate many things, the foundational things like the first two commandments, love God first and pursue God first and his kingdom and his righteousness first. But love God first with all your body, soul, and mind and spirit. Just love God, an outpouring of love for God, and people should see that. And then love people. Love your neighbor as yourself, an outpouring of love for them, especially friends, especially everybody that needs it, anybody. It doesn't matter, black or white, Christian, non-Christian, Jew or Gentile. Unconditional love for all, even those that have done you wrong. Grace and forgiveness. Even if in the split second somebody has just done you wrong, or in your perspective had done you wrong, but it really wasn't that bad, maybe it just overreacted. Grace, right there, thick. You see a person overreact, it's all about response and grace. Maybe their perspective were wrong, or maybe your actions were wrong. Who knows? But from both sides should always default to grace and mercy and love. Just like that. Not smart remarks, no rolling of the eyes or huffing and puffing or stomping. It immediately goes to that person needs grace right now. Because I remember when a person didn't show me grace and they huffed and puffed and they were rude or they made a smart remark, and it destroyed me the rest of the day. Could have destroyed me the rest of the day, but I didn't let it, because nobody can steal my peace and my joy. I think the best example is that would be from the Bible. Jesus' own. Do you have a favorite disciple, Jesus? Who was your favorite disciple? I'd have to say Peter. Peter was my favorite disciple. Even though that you told him before the rooster crows 3 times that he's going to deny you. Even though he's my favorite. Don't tell anybody else though. But they all know. I said it in front of everybody that he's my favorite. Even though you're staring him in the eyes, laying in the dirt, while Peter's being arrested, and he denied you, he's still your favorite? Yeah, and I showed him grace. I showed him grace, and I showed people grace all the time. I mean, I am the expert of the grace and the love. My Father is love, therefore I am love. Right? That's how Jesus might respond. I love all of them equally. I really do. And I show grace to all of them equally, because I know how to do it. It's just a natural reaction. And wow, so that's what it comes to. That's how we should respond. Peter responded wrong then. Jesus stayed chill about it. And he knew what his Father's will was too. Well, I didn't know if he knew. You could, if you say it too, it's more powerful. If he actually knew, but he knew. But yeah. So that's the best example. Or the best example would be when police officers get shot, and it's a young man that did it, And the police officer wants the judge to show grace and mercy to that young man that happened to not mean to do it. It's hard to say, but just happened to be wrong place, wrong time, and didn't know he was shooting at. But the police officer stands up when they say, plaintiff, any last remarks or anything else you want to say? Yes, Judge. Because of what Jesus did for us and what he's done in my life, I would like for you to give this person the minimum punishment acceptable for this crime he has committed. The minimum punishment. Do you know everybody else's reaction? Didn't they remember the grace? Huh. Yeah. Sometimes it depends how you wanna run everything. But you can go by the book, which is right, if you're going by the Holy Bible. But I always give a 3-strike rule almost. Grace first time. Warnings, repeat offenders. Wow. They need the most grace and mercy, and they get it. Things could be way worse. But it's because he loved us. And he loves all of us. Remember, he doesn't judge us or condemn us, so stop using that word. And he forgives all of our transgressions, no matter how bad they were. We're cleansed because of what Jesus did on the cross. By his body being broken for us and his blood being spilled for us. It covers all of that. It pays the debt. And we are free. And you just have to totally believe that. So when you confess that and believe that's what actually happened and what it was for, and you believe that actually happened, and you believe in the resurrection, wow. And you can surrender to Christ, and you're a Christian. You're in the club, or really you're going to start finding out who you really are, who you are in Christ, and who you were meant to be. So it's pretty cool. So grace being a theme all the time. Patience, obedience, and love, and faith and grace. How many times was I shown grace today? Once, twice, 3 times? And I showed a few people. So I'm always practicing that. So if there was a workout card with, 6 exercises on it, 3 sets of 10. 3 sets of 10. It would start off with, I would start off in the very beginning with obedience. And I would do a set there. I would superset them though. I would do obedience and patience and hope and faith and grace and mercy. And you're supposed to do the hardest exercises first. The last exercise would be love, because I think I've exercised it so much that you just take it easy on there. But all sets are hard. It's 3 sets, 10 reps each. I've worked my way up to that. It started up on a little bit, but now the weight is heavier now. The more we have, the more we're blessed. The much more is required of us. The more better relationship we are with our Father, the more biblical knowledge we have, the more we're going to be held accountable and responsible and be expected of. So, wow. So remember that. So especially when you're a Christian for a long, long time, we better have those foundational things, right? It's like strength and conditioning coach for D1 schools. Man, D1 our D tool, man. The hiring process is crazy good. Could I get in there and compete against? Probably not, because there's some tools in the toolbox I don't know yet. But I'm working on it, and that's when they move their way up too. But I have confidence in whatever God's will is. I could do that, but you have to work your way up to that. And I think God's working on stuff like that right now. Whatever his will, whatever his destiny for my life, for your life, he's working it out. And that's when we're just patient and obedient to whatever his will is. And do what you got to do every day. Do it to glorify God, and it better be God-centered, Jesus cross-centered. And people better see the light and the love in you in every action and every response that you give. The 1 second slip up of the wrong response, and it's like, dang. But then, bam, it's an opportunity to use your grace card. you have unlimited grace cards. And here's your opportunity with the appointment that I had scheduled at 7. They were late 15 minutes. Grace card, bam, used. I thought they weren't coming. But I know all my appointments are God ordained. I know it. I said, God, who are you sending to me today? And they're being obedient too by coming in and just showing up, like I always say. God just says, show up and I'll do the rest. They showed up 15 minutes late. Grace card. Evaluation table is already taken. I just talked to them right there. Because I seen them in the gym and I know they're struggling and they need my help. These are the people that I meant to help. And Mr. Ralph. So it's perfect. And it went so perfect. 2 at a time's hard, but it was perfect. Father and son. And son has way different perspective than me. And probably different perspective than his father. But they're both unhealthy and need my help. And that's how God uses me. Things like that and other things. It almost got biblical up during the evaluation. For sure. Because he doesn't get along with anybody. He goes to Montverde Academy. He doesn't get along with anybody. He thinks people are judging him. He's probably judging people. Therefore, he thinks people are judging him. So that's kind of how that works. But I said, dude, it comes to unconditional love and kindness for all. And then I kind of said, yeah, it gets kind of biblical. Because I didn't say love your God first or anything. I could have. They would get it. Everybody knows who God is and the commandments. Most of them do. And Jesus. But it's unconditional love for all, man, and kindness. I think his dad got it. Once you're in your 40s, you kind of heard it. But grace, man. Grace, grace, grace. And have fun and know that God is smiling down, watching you, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do today. That was the one big appointment I had for you today. And you hit a home run, dude. So cool. I hope so. I hope so, God. Everything that I've learned up to this point led up to these appointments and these interactions with people. But you know what? It was from working out so much, filling in my workout card of the patience and obedience and hope, faith and trust and love and grace and mercy. Alright? So if you don't work that stuff out a lot, you're still going to be weak in there. And there has to be an overload principle. So when you really need to forgive people, that should be on the workout card too. Especially the big hard things.